YouTube. Hey, Eminardi. I've been in the fleet for about 6 months. 6 months. Um, it's been a great experience so far, and I still have a long way to go. I've been through boot camp, A school, and for the most part, most of a deployment. So I think I can tell you how your Navy career is going to go. Um, so you're watching this video. I'm pretty sure you're on your way to boot camp. You already have your date that you're leaving, which is good to go. You're halfway there for the most part. Basically, what I'll be telling you is everything that you will be encountering in your experience in Great Lakes. Now, what I do need to tell you is that wow, if I hit this again, I'm gonna irritate myself. Is that you need to be ready for what you're about to experience. Because one, it's not a game. You're not going to summer camp. You're going to a a school basically that's going to teach you how to do everything over again. They're going to retrain the fundamentals of what your parents taught you, and put a general military knowledge of training, a basic training inside of you. So it's important that you pay attention, to everything your recruiter's telling you, because if you have a halfway decent one, what they're saying is, good, and it's great knowledge. So, you get off the plane, you're on your way to Great Lakes. Sit down, shut up, give me your packet. Start there. You get on the bus. This is the nicest person this is the nicest person at RDC Great Lakes you're gonna meet there. He's gonna be real cool for about 30 minutes. He's gonna answer any questions that you may have. If you have any questions, I would, go ahead and ask me. But once you get there, if some part it pops up in your head that you didn't think of, now's the time, because right then and there, it's the real deal. So you get there, boom, we're in P days. P days is processing days. It's usually about 4 days to a week, depending on how it goes. The first day, I know you're hearing different things. Oh, it's you right away. It's long. It's based on when you get there. So when they starting a new graduating class, they need enough people to fill up those classes. So depending on if you're the first person there or if you're the last person, depends on how long that initial 24, 48 hours of no sleep is going to be. So, like, let's say you're the first ones there and they still got 1,000 more people to get through, you're going to be up 48 hours. You better believe it. However, if you one of the last ones in 1,000, you might sleep the last day. Luckily for me, I was one of the last ones, so I went to sleep the same day. However, I've heard, I know people that have had to be up that initial 48 hours. During that 48 hours, you'll do your first urinalysis, your piss test. Excuse my French. This video's not for you. I kind of have foul language. I'm going to hold it back a little bit. But, yeah. Basically, be prepared to stand in a line, holding a cup like this, filled with your urine, for about an hour. They're going to get pretty irritated with you if you don't have to pee. So, yeah, I would hold it in kind of until that test. You can't, do something. That's all I got to tell you with that. After that, you're going to get your first uniform issued. Throw this out there. Yes, you have to pay for all your uniforms. Your uniform package is about $500 to $700, depending on what season you go in. If you go in there in the winter season, it's a little bit more because you have more uniform items. If you go in during the summer, it's a little cheaper. So just throwing that out there. You have to pay for your haircuts, your uniforms, basically everything in boot camp you're paying for. Nothing is free in boot camp. Nothing is given to you in boot camp. It's like the rough kicking ass. That's what boot camp is. No lie. So your P days, you're given all of this stuff. Let's see what else. So you've been up 24, 48 hours. You got your first uniform. Your first uniform really is what we call Smurfs. Basically, it's your sweatsuit. It's a sweatsuit that says Navy on the top, and it's basically your PT gear, which you'll which you'll basically call it later on, but it's your uniform for now, and it's important that you wear the uniform correctly. I kind of forgot this. Your phone call. I mean, once you get there, you'll make your initial phone call. There are no payphones, to my knowledge. So it is important that you bring your cell phone, or bring a cell phone. Now, if you don't, that's fine. You might be able to borrow someone else's. I wouldn't really depend on it too much, because it can be a hassle. But all the stuff, belongings that you took with you, you're gonna mail back. So you're gonna mail your cell phone back. I wouldn't be too paranoid on, hey, am I gonna get my phone back? Most likely you're gonna get your phone back. You're mailing it back USPS, which you are paying for. So I wouldn't carry too much heavy, items with you, because you gotta mail it back home. Yeah. So that's that. But like I said, after the 48 hours, you begin the moment of truth. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. Moment of truth is the time that, if you have not told your recruiter anything, you have lied or not been honest about something to get into the Navy. Now is the time to say something without you being screwed over. Now, my belief is you should have already told your recruiter everything, and everything should have been taken care of prior to you going to RTC Great Lakes. If you agree. Now, for those of you that weren't honest, this is the time for you to, confess up. Now, it might not be that bad, but it is. Now, at the same time, I'm not telling you when he says, hey, how many of you guys have not been honest? I'm not telling you not to raise your hand, and I'm not telling you to raise your hand. That's completely up to you. Me personally, off the record, I think it's a bunch of bullshit. But that choice is yours. He comes in, hey, I seen he's going to point in a general direction. Unluckily, that's where you're going to be sitting. You're going to be like, hey, you. Oh yeah, you. Yeah, I saw your paper on my desk, and I know you lied about something. I don't want to put it out in front of everybody, but I think you need to stand up. And you're going to be like, oh, I did kind of lie about that police, about that arrest I got in 2011, whatever. You're going to stand up, and you're going to be on your way back home. Now, I'm pretty sure you're going to watch other fucking YouTube videos. Yeah, they're dumb assholes that raised their hand and I didn't see them. You're going to see them rolling right back in one by one. It's like, oh, okay, I guess it wasn't that bad. But if it's bad enough, you better believe you're going home. And if it's not bad enough, what also can happen is they'll put you on hold for a couple of days to see if you can get it taken care of, and if you can't, then they'll send you home. They'll kind of work with you, depending on what it is. But why even do that to yourself? You're not there yet. So if you got something you need to take care of, go ahead and take care of it. If you got family that can help you take care of it, if it's like money, money wise, hey, I'm going to boot camp. I have some money saved up. You can take it out my first check. You're going to have to do whatever you got to do. Me personally, I had tickets. So I made sure, my recruiters made sure I paid all that off before I even went. So just don't do that to yourself, P days, you're gonna meet your RDCs, which are your recruit division commanders. You're gonna meet them for the first time. How they may be is completely up to them. They can be assholes. They can be the coolest people in the world. They can be the most It's up. It's everybody's different. What's another important thing about P days is how you address people. It's what they call military bearing. Military bearing is very, very important everywhere. It's important that you keep the proper level of professional respect around your peers, your supervisors. One of the easiest military bearings that people screw up because of ignorance, not knowing, not calling them stupid. They don't know, is how they address. The only people you will call sir or ma'am are civilians or commissioned officers. Do not call a RDC sir or ma'am. You want to address them as a proper superior. So if they have chevrons, you will address them as a petty officer. If they have anchors, you address them as such. So if they're chief, you address them as chief. Senior chief, master chief, fleet force command, master chief, as such. So you want to make sure you're addressing them properly. Military bearing. Let's say chief walks up to you. Recruit, who told you to read that book? Well, this is what you don't do. Don't look him in the eye and say, chief, senior chief told me to. See, you just fucked up. 1, what are you doing, hitchhiking? 2, why the fuck is your head rolling? 3, why are you looking me in the eye? You're gonna get all that. The proper thing is, send that attention. You probably, chief, senior chief told me to read it. Chief, it's alright to stutter. I mean, you're gonna be nervous as hell. You don't know who this person is all up in your face. And they can be pretty intimidating. So you just want to keep the proper military bearing. You want to always look at they call it 1,000-yard stare. Shit got annoying. I got tired of hearing it. Look at the 1,000-yard stare. You just want to look blankly in one direction or into your book that you're reading. The book your Bible will be your training guide. You can get this online at the RTC Great Lakes website. You can look at it. I'll tell you what some of the tests are going to be on. Go ahead and take initiative. Go ahead and read some of those chapters. If you have questions on some, there's blanks that you need to fill in, go ahead and ask me. That's why I'm here. I'm here to help out the next person, because that's what boot camp is about. If you know something, your job is to help the person next to you that doesn't know it, that don't know it. So you'll be on the same page, because one person can't get a ship underway, and you'll learn that. So it's really important. Attention to detail is very important. Let's see. You also go to your compartment. Your compartment is your living area. It'll be about 90 of you guys in one compartment. How you run things is basically up to you guys. The RDCs don't really mess around in the involvement of that too much. So how you guys shower, your shower system, or certain little systems of doing stuff. Your RDCs will stand back and see who's taking charge, and they'll assign jobs. But right now they're just looking. We'll talk about jobs around the first week. You'll be starting on your recruit handwriting. Recruit handwriting is basically how you will write the whole time you're in boot camp. It's a universal, military writing, and it's everything in uppercase. It's pretty straightforward. A little attention to detail here and there, but not too much. You will walk. You're gonna do your first marching around the base. Seeing where things are. The next anchors away. You will learn that song. I would YouTube it. I just pause the video, YouTube it, or I'll probably try to add a link in here somewhere so you can listen to Anchors Away. I would learn that song because you're gonna sing it a lot. Let's see. March. So yeah, you're gonna learn how basics of marching. Marching, it can be pretty complicated. I'm not gonna lie, but once you guys get it down, it's cool. You take one test in P days. The test is it's your depth test. So in depth, they gave you a little book to read, and basically your test is did you study? Because you have a job before they give you material to read before you actually start, and yeah, they just want to see how well you've actually paid attention and learned that stuff. You'll be learning your chain of command and basic things. P days, you also do a lot of stenciling. You're given a stamp kit when you first get to boot camp, and you have to stamp everything uniformly. And I'll tell you how, and I'll tell you the reason. When you're stamping, you're gonna if they say 2 inches from the left, 4 inches from the top, and up and touching the centerfold of the shirt, you're gonna everything has to be stenciled like that in the whole division. Or according to RDC instruction. It's important that you pay attention to this, and it makes sense because when you get out to the fleet, you're going to start wearing your collar devices and your ribbons, and things are really looked at. So, if you have your collar device and your chevron's way over here and your other chevron is way down here, it's like, whoa, why is your uniform fucked up? 2 inches from the left, 2 inches from the right. It's everything is supposed to be in like a uniform manner. So it's important to pay attention to little things because everything can have a bigger meaning out in the fleet. It's not all for nothing. Some of it's bullshit. I ain't gonna lie, but some of it can really you can expand upon. You're gonna be eating in the galley. The food that you get in boot camp is fucking amazing compared to the shit you will get out in the fleet. That's the only thing that is better in boot camp is food. They have Goodwill civilians that work at Goodwill, and they I guess they're contracted to make the food, and the food it's not that bad. I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty good. You're gonna get little snacks and stuff like that there. There's gonna be diet sodas and stuff like that. There's juices, high C, fruit punch, all that little stuff. They're not diluted, but again, you kind of might want to stay away from some of it just because you're trying to train your body to be as physically fit as possible. So just remember that. So. Basically, that's your first week, but it's not technically a week. It's your processing days. Your process. Those that have hair, males, your hair is gonna be cut to a 1/16. Females, I know there's a lot of confusion where my hair have to be cut. Yes, it will get cut. Basically, my collar. If your hair falls like below this, it's getting cut. They're gonna cut it well above. What I would recommend is if you can pull off braids, get that little hair thing y'all got and can't cut that. I mean, it's gonna because you're gonna look like hell. But I mean, it's nothing they can cut. If you understand. But if you can wear braids, if you can get in cornrows, maybe but it can't be faddish at the same time. So you got to figure out how you want to do that. Yeah, you can ask some other women in the Navy of styles that you can wear to avoid getting your hair cut. But if it's hanging down If it falls below this, it's getting cut because it can't touch the bottom part of the collar, and they're gonna cut it well above. So yes, your hair is gonna get cut. Don't have anyone lie to you, because yeah, it's no joke. All right, so that's week 1. Week 1 done. Our P days done. Now we're on week 1. Week 1, they can start beating you now. You couldn't exercise or do anything like that in P days because you weren't FFD, which is fit for field of duty. I don't know if I said this, but now you can in week 1. So somebody is going to be made an example of. That one asshole in the division that can't follow instructions, talks too fucking much or does whatever you want to do. It's going to be made an example of. That's usually what they try to do. So yeah, week 1 you're gonna get beat. Swimming. Yes, you need to know how to swim before you join the Navy. If you don't know how to swim, if you don't learn by your 6th week, you're gonna be out of luck. Now I'll explain why once we get down that road. So week 1, you have swimming. Basically, you're gonna have to swim the length of an Olympic-sized pool, and you're gonna have to prone float for 5 minutes. The first time I got kicked in the face during a prone float, I was so pissed. I said, "Fuck it, I'm not passing," because I got kicked. I feel like I'm drowning. My nose hurt. I didn't want to do it no more, so I didn't pass. Now I'm thinking, okay, well, I passed the swim. Who gives a fuck if I didn't pass the prone float? No, you need to pass the prone float too. So, I had to come back later and, try it. Yeah, there were about 300 people there that didn't know how to swim. And it's sadly to say, I'm going to just say this, African Americans, as a people, we need to learn how to swim, because given that there are 200, given that there were 300 people, and I look at it like this: if there's 18 African Americans or so, give or take, out of a division of 90, that's how my division was, and 12 of them the first time didn't pass the swim, one including me. I just find that saddening, But not even that. Everybody needs to know how to swim. You're going to throw race completely out of it. Caucasians, Asians, African Americans, Hispanic, Latinos. Everybody, if you're in the Navy, you need to know how to swim. I don't even know why you wouldn't know how to swim, knowing you're going to be around water. That's just dumb. That makes no sense. But yeah, swimming, big problem. You're going to get some health things done. You're going to get your peanut butter shot. Rub that out. I know you're going to hear stories about it. That shit sucks. It wasn't too bad, like, falling out your rack and nothing like that, but it wasn't fun either. I wouldn't recommend it. You're going to get your direct deposit set up, and you're going to get your life insurance set up. So that's basically it. Your first week, other than your first your first PFA, you will do that, and you do your first PFA, and you'll do your first PT. And like I said, did I say it? You're not supposed to work out in your compartment when in P days when there's no RDCs around, or anytime when there's no RDCs around. However, it would behoove of you not to, especially knowing that you have PFAs coming along. It's important for you to pass that, because if you pass the first initial one that doesn't count to you personally, you can rank up from E1 to E2. Not E. If you're going from E2 to E3, E3 to E4, it don't matter. E2 and above, it doesn't matter. But if you want that initial E1 to E2, which is 9 months of being of time and rate, it's you want to pass that. Pass this messing with your money for 9 months. See, that's what, like a $200 difference times 9. That's about $1,800. Would you like $1,800? I know I would. Or like $1,800 more. Just throw that out there. So it's important that you pay attention to that. Week 2. Week 2. It's an important week. Week 2. Everything has to you're out of the initial shock of being in boot camp. Now, here's where the order begins. The RPOC comes in, the AROC comes in, and all that other good stuff. RPOC is the recruit chief petty officer. The AROC is the assistant recruit chief petty officer. It's basically the leading petty officer of the fucking division. I don't even know how they get AROC. I don't know. The RPOC is the recruit chief petty officer. The AROC is the assistant, or the leading, the LPO, the leading petty officer. And he goes down there. From there, you got your MA, Master at Arms, your Starboard Watch. These jobs are for the ones that stand out in the division. That is trying to bring the division together. That is outspoken and willing to keep the division in line. Let me throw this in there. Just because you got that RPOC, that AROC, that don't mean that you it's not a fucking democracy type of person. That means that get ready for some real deal babysitting, because that's what it is. Your job is to keep them in line. That don't mean go power hungry, because that's a no-no. But make sure your division stays quiet. They're reading their books. They're squared away at all times, because you represent them. And they represent you at the same time. So your jobs will be assigned this week, or before then. It's really up to your RDCs. You'll learn basic military terminology, such as the one place forward march, which is everybody marching, or those given people marching one step forward. Proper hand salute, which you should already know how to do that. But let's see. I'll put on my end up cover, and if I were to hand salute, of course it's flat palm hand, the index finger, middle finger touching the brim of the hat, 90-degree angle, thumb slightly tucked in. Cover. It's cover and uncover is a two-step process. When it's cover, you put your you put the cover on top. You keep your, hand still on the brim of your hat, or these two fingers on the top, this one on the bottom. Cover 2, you drop your hand. It's kind of cricket. And then when you're uncovering, it's uncover 2. Okay. Standing at attention, you should already know how to stand at attention and parade rest. I shouldn't even have to go over those. Yeah. You'll also be standing watches. Your starboard watch is the one who writes the watch bill. So what I want to go over is I guess one, how to properly salute. So when you're standing watch, you'll always be covered. It's the only time you're going to be covered indoors, really, other than if you're standing inspection. So when someone comes in that's E4 or above, you want to address them as such. You want to address the time. You want to address what division you are, who you are, what your job is, and what you're doing. That's a lot of shit. So, me personally, I'm Airman Hardy. So, It's let's say I've seen Chief come in, and it's morning. Good morning, Chief. Airman Apprentice Hardy, Division 032, Roman Security Watch, standing by for further instructions, Chief. You know, of course I'm an Airman Apprentice, but in boot camp everybody's a Seaman recruit, so it'd be Seaman Recruit Hardy standing by for Division 032 standing by for further instructions. It's whatever. Make sure you're addressing them properly. Right time, right rank. Only difference is if you see an officer, you're gonna call attention on deck. Any officer, 01 through 010. Yeah, 01 through 010, you're going to call attention on deck. So it's attention on deck. Good morning, sir. Airman, sir, Seaman Recruit, blah, 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 Division, blah, 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 Roman Security Watch, standing by for further instructions, sir. When he leaves, you call attention on deck. He or she. Blame my last. If you screw up, you're going to say, blame my last. So, good morning, so, blame my last. Good evening, Just try to keep your military bearing doing it. Don't shake your head like, oh, fuck, I just fucked up, Like, say fucking all shit, Keep military bearing. You want to keep a level of professionalism, which I'm kind of failing through this video, but it's whatever. I'm in a fleet. You still got to go through boot camp. That was kind of mean, but it's okay. You're going to learn how to wear your uniform. This week, you get your end ups. You've been in boot camp 2 weeks now for the most part, and it's been weird. But now you get your first real Navy uniform. Your Navy working uniform, your end ups. When you see your name, and you see U.S. Navy, and you see the USS Constitution, it makes you feel proud, because it's like, I'm almost there. I just have a couple more weeks, and I'm pushing through. I'm doing it, So, yeah. You also get your boots. Break those bad bitches in, because they suck when you first get them. But they will be your best friends later on, because they get comfortable. I'm not gonna lie. They heavy as fuck. They like the IT in boots, because I don't know. They make a good workout. You be tired as hell, but yeah, you're gonna get your uniform. Keep your military bearing. You're gonna learn about. You're gonna use that a lot. So week 2, you're gonna go through your first inspection, your DMI, which is basically making sure you know how to make your bed. You're gonna go through some classes. Your classes and classrooms are awesome, and I'm gonna tell you why. One, you done been around your RDCs so often you get sick of seeing them. In the classrooms, you're not with the RDC, you're with the instructor, and they're a lot more laid back. They didn't have to go through RDC school, so they're pretty calm, they're pretty chill. They're not to be taken lightly, because they still have rank. They've already been through it. But so you got to give them respect. You can't sleep, talk when they talk, and you can't do none of that. But it's a big break, because you can relax a little. You can lean in your chair a little bit more. That's about all. So that kind of works to your advantage per se. So you're gonna be studying. You're gonna start kind of. I don't know. Yeah, I guess you do. You start your weapons turnover stuff in this week. It's nothing really special. You're just basically learning the basics of how to use your weapon. See if I think I kept it. I guess you don't know, if I keep saying you fucking know. I guess I don't have it in here anymore, but basically, so ask you. There's a part about it. Weapons in your trainee guide. If you look at it online, it's like, what's the maximum effective range of a 9mm pistol? It's like 60 yards or something like that, 60 feet, 60 or something. I can't remember anymore. I don't need to. But it's definitely something you want to read and know before you get there, because it can be a pain to have to kind of cram all of that in. Also that week you have your first test. Your first test is on first aid, rank and recognition, UCMJ, and aircraft and ships. You need to know all of that. It's not that bad because you should know most of it prior to you even coming in. You should know most of it from that. Most of it was in there, like rank and recognition, ships, uniform and grooming, UCMJ. Was something you're gonna have to read on. You can go ahead and read, check it out. Got any questions? You need me to fill in answers? Go ahead and ask me. Inbox it. Take advantage. Week 2, easy day. Week 3, you're going to have your haircut. Yep. And let's see. My hair, basically from here. They're just going to make that bald. Get out my seat. You're going to be there 20 seconds in the chair. So it's just, yeah, that's all they're doing. And you pay $10 and nice thank you for that. It's going to be the shittiest haircut you ever paid for. Anyway, haircuts, you go to classifications. You're gonna basically pick out the specialty of your rate if it's not already chosen for you. A-Pack, S-Pack, and F-Pack. You guys will you'll do your dream sheet there. And here's the reason why. You're not in A school long enough to really for there to be a processing of where you're gonna go. So they started off already. So in the middle of boot camp, you're gonna already know where you're going. So you're gonna go to classifications. Then you're gonna study for your weapons turnover and all that other stuff. You're doing like a computer test because you're gonna do live fire soon. And either week 4, I think it is either the end of week 3 or the beginning of week 4, you do a weapons turnover inspection. Here's the reason for inspections if you haven't gotten. Why do I have to be inspecting on shit I'm not going to even use? Well, if I say, hey, Airman Hardy, make your rack. Okay, well, Airman Hardy, after a while, he knows how to make his rack. Now, what makes him be the best of the best and make sure everything is perfect when he makes his rack? Well, if you make an inspection give him an inspection, and you tell him everything has to be on point and meticulous on every single rule and note, then he's going to make sure that everything is detail oriented. So, that's the reason on that. So, weapons turnover inspections, simple. Just, let's see. They're going to ask you a question, tell you to insert the gun into a clearing barrel, take out the bullet, insert the clip, turn on the safety, turn off the safety. Simple stuff. You're not even firing, it's not hard at all. You're going to go through Marlin Spike week 3. Marlin Spike is the first ship you will ever go on if you've never been on a ship or a tiger cruise. It's going to be an eventful day. It just teaches you basic line handling skills. As an airman, I've never done line handling. They say most of you guys will. Only time I touched the rope, and I probably only will touch the rope, was in boot camp. So all you S-Packs and what are they called? Bosun. I think they're called bosun mates. BMs. Yep, that's your job. Line handling. So I pay attention if y'all have that. F-Packs, A-Packs, firemen's, airmen's. I wouldn't really pay attention to it to get your ass out of boot camp. But after that, I wouldn't stress over it too much. It's going to teach you safety and dangers. A lot of it, again, it's kind of bull. It's one rule that you can't hang on lifelines. Well, when you're painting the ship, that's basically, you're not hanging from the lifeline, but you know, it's all screwed up. Just put it that way. But pay attention to all that stuff because most of it is written in blood. I'm not gonna lie either. Some of it is bull, but other is definitely necessary. Kneeling on the deck, you're gonna kneel on the deck when you get to the fleet. So this is no way around it. Like they tell you not to maneuver around aircraft. They don't tell you this in boot camp, but you're gonna do that regardless. If you're airman on a flight deck. Long story. Week 4. Boom. Here we are. Halfway through. Nice. Squad Hell Week. Nice week for week 4, especially when you're halfway through. This is because it's a really eventful week. I'm not gonna lie. You're gonna do a lot of shit, and you're gonna do a lot of shit. Day 1, second PFA. Get ready to run because about 15, you're gonna fail. You better believe it. Never fails. You're gonna do your SAMT, which is the automated, it's the automated firing. It's the automated firing range, weapon shooting range. You're gonna shoot with an air gun, limited recoil. It's gonna be okay. They teach you how to handle a gun properly, how to shoot. It's pretty fucking cool. I mean, they were doing some upgrades when I got there, so I'm pretty sure it probably is getting better. Then the next day you're gonna do live fire. So you're gonna do that with a 9mm and a shotgun. It's just important that you pay attention to everything they're telling you. You do exactly what they say because you gotta understand this is a dangerous environment. You are dealing with a live weapon, a live round that can actually hurt someone if you're not paying attention. So they can get a little physical. They can pull you, and you gotta take no offense because you gotta think that their lives are in your hands and vice versa. Because you turn around and you can accidentally hurt the person next to you, the person behind you, them, yourself. That's another big thing. So you need to pay attention and not live fire. That's no joke. You're gonna have your marching inspection. Navy, I don't know. It seems like sometimes we got problems marching. You're gonna see this a lot in kind of A school. You're gonna have to march around. You won't have to do it once you get out of A school, if you even have to do it in A school, though you most likely will. So yeah, you're gonna take photos. Your dress blue photos, whatever. Gonna do that one. And your final uniforms. You will get your dress blues, your dress whites, and your NSUs. And you're like, whoa, okay, I got all my uniforms. I'm in the game. I'm damn near a sailor, But, you haven't worn them yet. So, don't get complacent. 10, 10, 100. You want to make it all the way through. 10 fingers, 10 toes, and everybody, keep pushing forward. So that's basically week 5. Week 5, you have your second test, SAMT, 2 inspections, and just a whole bunch of shit thrown in. Another PFA, Week 5. Week 5, firefighting and damage control, DC, which is a qual once you get out to the fleet. Firemen, this is where you need to pay attention because this is where you guys come in. Shipboard damage control, how to read bullseyes, which I fucking hate. That shit sucks. YouTube something else because I'm not teaching you how to read the bullseye. Classes fire, Alpha Bravo Charlie Delta. Alpha is burnables like clothing, paper. Bravo is liquid fires, fuel, whatever else type of. Charlie's electrical, and Delta is jettison. It's important that you pay attention to this because though you may not use it on a daily basis, it's important to know just in case some shit shit happens. For example, ship catches on fire. I can't remember if it was the ship or the aircraft, but anyway, most likely it wasn't an aircraft because someone was using AFFF which is a aqueous film forming foam, and which kind of smothers the fire, to make it simple. And someone else was using salt water, which was washing away the foam, which kind of was counterproductive, though they were both semi-productive, so it killed the whole thing. Now, if they were both using AFFF, it probably would have went out, type of thing. So it's important that you pay attention because you need to know whether you can use PKP, AFFF, CO2, salt water, you need to know, or jettison, how to get rid of the fire to save the ship. And they say you're going to say jettison. Just throwing this out there, you're going to say jettison, how to put out a plane, put out a plane fire, but because planes are combustible, they explode. If they catch on fire, they can explode, or they cause small explosions once you spray water on them. But knowing the Navy, they will do whatever they can do to save that plane. So be prepared to save it. It sucks ass. I mean, they really try to save their money because they're not trying to throw a $1 million, $2 million jet in the water. So. But excuse me. Just know how to know what you're doing. Pay attention. Whew. Alright, so you're gonna learn how to use the SCBA, which is self-contained breathing apparatus. It's the oxygen bottle that you'll wear when putting out a fire. You learn about the classes of fire. CBR, chemical, biological, radiological. You learn about most of that a little later. You'll have your final PFA, and then you'll do your zone inspection. Boom! Easy day. Your zone inspection is your dress white or dress blue uniform inspection, and it's really simple. I don't know what if I said final PFA, that's in week 6. I don't know. I screwed that up. Week 6. I hate week 6. Week 6 sucks. Week 6 is you're almost through. Your head is up. You got like 2 weeks in, and you out of here. You got like 14 days. You like, man, 14 days. I'm gonna go to Burger King, eat up everything, because that's where your mind is. You're like, I'm almost there. Week 6, you have your final PFA. You have your final test. Really, after you done those 2, you are damn near done. You just have your battle stations, and I'm actually going to tell you about battle stations. No, I'm not. I wish I could though. Battle stations was a bitch. Week 6. You're gonna go to the gas chamber. I hated the gas chamber. I'm not gonna lie, that shit was not fun. I would not want to do it again. I understand OC spray is a lot worse, but you're gonna learn about that later. But I didn't like the gas chamber. That sucks. Basically, it teaches you confidence in your equipment. You just put on the gas mask, take it off, cough a little, say your name. You say your name and your division number, or Senior Recruit Hardy Division 032. That's all you say. Get out. Now, if you RPOC or or yeoman, get ready to stand in the back, and you're gonna be in there a while. Now, it's not that bad because you have your gas mask on, and if you have a proper seal, you won't be affected. It's really okay. But that shit suck because you can't breathe. It's based on how much you panic. Let's see. Now, the last day of training, really, is day 6-5. 6-5 is the day of battle stations. If there's something that you did not pass, get prepared to be ASMO'd. So 6-5. You're on 6-5 hold if you do not pass your final PFA. Your 6-5 hold, if you did not pass your swim, you are on 6. No, they will ASMO you back, which is set back in training by 2 weeks if you did not pass your test 3. So, you need to pass that. It's not negotiable. If you don't pass it, you're done. You're going back, or you're getting sent back to another division. They might give you another chance depending on how long you have until battle stations, but that's all up to you, whether you graduate with your division or not. I've seen grown-ass men cry because they didn't pass the test, had to go back, they couldn't graduate with their division, and they knew that on their real graduation date that they could have been done. They could have been on their way home. So, shit, that's that. Battle stations, here we go. When you go through battle stations, then we can talk about it. But until then, ain't nothing I can tell you. What I can tell you is watch the YouTube videos, all of that they give you about boot camp, and get an idea of battle stations. That's what I will tell you. I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna say just kind of they got a YouTube video on what happens at RTC Great Lakes, and they have videos of some of the stuff. You kind of get a general idea of what you're going to be going through. I can tell you all the ins and outs of how everything will go, though. A little more in depth. So, week 6-5. After you pass battle stations, you're giving your, it's a ceremony. They play Proud to Be American. I don't know if it's just because you're tired or what it is, and you're like, this has been a bitch, but once you turn in that recruit ball cap and you get that navy ball cap that you see the RDCs wearing, it's so much better, man. It's so much fucking better. I remember right after we got our ball cap, and we couldn't go to sleep after battle station, so we were damn near running on like 36 hours. And a Master Chief just comes up. Now, your division is always going to be serious until after battle station. And Master Chief comes on like, hey, why the fuck are you guys smiling? And we just like, I don't give a fuck, man. We sailors. We sailors. What you gonna say? So, and then our RDC just explaining that, hey, they passed battle station, so, I guess they think they can do whatever they want. And he's like, oh. His whole demeanor changed toward us. We're almost done. So, it's a great feeling. That's the only time it gets better, because you're almost done. If you're lucky to go to Recruit Heaven, it's awesome. It's like a little pizza party afterwards. Play some games, meet with the other divisions, or, another division. It's fun. It's really legit. Really legit. After that, it's chilling till graduation. Ain't really nothing else to say. You graduated. You successfully made it through boot camp. You do a graduation practice, which sucks because you're standing at attention for about 2 hours, and you should be used to it during, for the inspections, but it's whatever. But after that, you're done with boot camp. Boot camp is officially behind you. And the whole thing is to take what you have learned and take it out to the fleet. I'll let's see. Really that's it. I'll create a couple of more videos on how to fold your uniforms properly, because that's going to be a big thing. It's nice to get a head start on most of that and start practicing it and getting it knocked down, because if you do it well enough, you'll be a section leader, and if you're a good enough section leader, you can get a promotion. And like I said, my job is to make sure that once you get to boot camp, that you're the best. You're the creme de la creme. You're standing out among the rest. That's my job, because you're a shipmate. That's, you want to help the next person too. You don't want to just leave them screwing around. So that's really it. Other than that, battle station. Oh, you will get your you'll be able to reach your Blue Jackets manual. It's nothing really special in there. Trying to think if there's anything I left out. Nope. I'd throw in some amenities though. If you are unfortunate to go to Great Lakes during a holiday, they usually make up with it with good ass food. Or just a decent meal. I went during Thanksgiving, so I had a good Thanksgiving dinner. I mean, it wasn't that bad. I'm not gonna lie. Christmas they do the same, and if your division is, I think past like week 4 or week 5, you'll be a sponsored division. And you'll be able to like leave base and stuff like that for that day. So it's pretty legit. They don't really screw you. Now, if you are fortunate-ish enough to go around the holidays, they will offer you holiday leave, which is like 10 days of leave, and you can go home. Here's the cons to that. Tickets, depending on where you live, are high as hell, and you have to pay for your ticket back home. But, I mean, you're able to take your 10 days leave, which is amazing, because they don't do it to any other division except, graduating class except that one. So, I don't know, it's up to you if you want to take advantage of it. Recruit Heaven, like I said, that was pretty chill. You're able to buy, little snacks and shit like that. Phone calls, that's pretty important. You'll be able to make phone calls 3 times in boot camp. Just 3. They're going to be about 30 minutes each, if you're lucky. If it's not enough payphones, it's going to be about 15 minutes. Your first one's going to be the most emotional one, because it's like, I don't know what the fuck I signed up for. The second one's going to be like, I'm almost through. 3 is like, yeah, no problem. I got it. Yeah, in the bank. 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks left. Yeah. That'll make sense. But it's cool. That's really it. Your schedule in boot camp is basically wake up at 6, go to bed at 10, 3 hots or 3 meals. You're gonna work out for an hour. You're gonna have an hour of instruction and a lot of bullshit in between. Whatever you have to do. It's basically listed in a plan of the day. Worst jobs. Worst jobs are starboard watch, head PO, and I would say starboard watch, head PO. Actually, though, that's basically yeoman. Yeoman is a pain in the ass too. Those jobs, get ready to work, because you're gonna be working your ass off. RPOC, you're gonna everything that's fucked up in the division, you're gonna be held accountable for. So get ready for that. Yeah, that's about it. Yeoman. Now, what jobs you might want is religious PO. That's kind of chill. And laundry PO. Those are some easy jobs that you get to stay away from the RDCs. If you're lucky enough to get like ship starboard watch, that's pretty nice too, because you won't have to stand any inspections, and you'll have a good little score. They give you a 3.5 for not even standing on inspection, so that's pretty nice. Or 4.0 or some shit like that. It's out of 5. Church. There are church services, a lot of different church services that you can go to on Sundays. Yeah. That's really up to you whether you want to go to church or not. You pick the time, or you pick the service, and there's a designated time of when that service is. Sailor Street, you need to know that, of course. It's just random things I didn't think of. That's really about it. I'm not going to hold you up. If you got any questions, go ahead. hit me up some type of way. I don't have any problem answering any questions. If you think I should make a video on something else or something that you like to know, go ahead and let me know. I mean, I have no problem.